Okay, boys and girls. We will be taking the writing test 1 week from tomorrow. And during this last week, Zachary, I asked you to wait and do that later on. And during this last week, what I'd like to do is I'd like to switch gears a little bit. We've been focusing a lot on how to write an explanatory or informational essay. I want to switch back and look at opinion essays. I want to take a minute to, or take several days over the course of this week, to go back and look at what we do when we are writing an opinion essay. Okay, so I'm going to have you take out or look at your technology use passage or text set that you have. And let's review what you do what you're going to be doing a week from tomorrow. What is the very first thing you are going to do when you get to the text set? Oliver.
Flip to the writing prompt page.
You're going to quickly flip to the part where it has the prompt or the directions. Okay, so go ahead and do that for me. It says here, at the top is the list of the sources. One is Fun Without Computers, LOL, and the other one is No Cell Phones, No Computers, No Thank You. So you have two sources in this text set. The directions say, write an essay in which you give your opinion about whether technology should be used all the time. Use information from the passages in your essay. Okay, so let's stop for a second and let's go ahead and think. What kind of an essay are they asking us to write, Terry?
They're asking you to write an opinion essay.
An opinion essay. So go ahead and circle that word opinion. Now, guys, remember, on the day of the test, you can write on this page. The page might say something like, do not write on this page, but what it actually means is don't write your essay on this page. They're not going to look at this page. They're not going to score the writing on this page. Okay, so think way back to when we did wolves. Now what are we going to do? Now what are we going to do? We know it's an opinion. What is it supposed to be about? Adrian?
It's supposed to be about not using technology.
Could you say it again? I missed what you said. Do you need help? Alexander, help him out.
About whether technology should be used all the time or not.
Okay, so we're writing an opinion essay about whether technology should be used all the time. Okay, so now what do you do? Adrian, you were ready to answer that question. I kind of caught you off guard.
What?
Now what is our next step? What do we do?
You underline it.
No. What do you do, Carter?
You make a thesis.
You make a thesis statement, okay? I want you to turn and talk with a partner and come up with a thesis statement that you could use for this prompt. Okay, so let's share really quickly. What is the thesis statement that you just wrote down on your paper? Carson.
Technology should not be used all the time.
Okay, technology should not be used all the time. And notice how he took the words right from the directions. That really helps a lot to prove to your reader that you are following the prompt. Okay, so now it's an opinion, so what else do we have to do? What else do we have to do? Who remembers? What else do you have to do? Nicholas?
You have to make
Not yet. Oliver?
Make a do what?
Well, we just already did the do what, we just didn't use the words. We're going to write an opinion about whether we should use technology all the time. Alexander, what should we do now?
Think of your 3 main ideas.
Not quite yet. You can't because you haven't read the text set yet, right? Sophia? Pardon me?
Read the text.
Not quite yet. Close. You have to remember back to when we did wolves. Adrian?
And the text.
Not yet.
Read
This
the
is an
rest of the-
opinion.
Oh, I say.
It's an opinion, Zachary. You have to make the other thesis, okay? So turn and talk. What is the other thesis?
The other thesis is
Turn and talk. Okay, I'm hearing lots of I'm hearing lots of good theses for the other opinion. Yes. Okay, so make sure you have both of those written in there. Now, we haven't even read the text set yet, so there's some questionable things here that we don't really know. First of all, remember, you want to choose the thesis statement that not only jibes with your own opinion, but also has plenty of evidence in the text. All right? Nobody really knows what you think. They're not going to read it and say, well, I know Adrian, and he doesn't believe this. Okay? They don't know. The people who will score your essay don't even live in Jacksonville. Okay? Everything goes to Tallahassee. Other people that have been hired will score your writing. Okay? So, you might already have an opinion, and that's great, about how you feel about technology. You might find that your opinion changes after you read the text set, which is fine as well. Or you may find that after you read the text, you do not have enough information to support one side or the other. Okay? So maybe what you chose, there's not enough evidence there. Remember, at the end, you want to choose the one that has the most evidence. You want to choose the thesis that will have the most evidence. Same goes for main ideas. All right, so this is what I'd like you to do. Switch to your bike sharing. Now, without my prompting, I want you to follow those same steps with your partner. What we just did with technology, I want you to do with your partner. Go ahead and turn and talk. Okay, remember, we're not asking you what you think right now. We're asking you to look at that, decide what you're being asked to do, and write your thesis statement.
That's a thesis. Like a spicy meatball.
Well, I'm not seeing you write it down is my question.
Well, I can be there. Yeah. No, bike sharing is a bad for people to know. Not bike sharing.
Bike sharing what?
No, you have to say a good. I have to say a bike sharing.
Okay, if you think think you're finished, I want you to read it back to yourself in your head, check for capitalization and punctuation. At this point, you should almost have two theses written down on your sheet.
Community.
Okay, so let's go ahead and share. Remember what I asked you to do? I asked you to make sure as your final step that you would go and you would reread them in your head. Because as I was walking around, a lot of you very quickly were writing it down, and I get that. You're jotting it as fast as you can, and that's good. But then when you went back and read it, you might notice a mistake. Like when I was looking at Aiden's, she wrote really fast. She said, a bike sharing community would work in our community. When she went back and reread it, she immediately went back, erased community, and made program. Okay? All right, there's a few of you out here that say bike sharing program will work in my community. Remember, think about that. You need to either need to say a bike sharing program would work, or you need to say bike sharing programs would work. Remember, 2 of the 10 points that you're going to be scored on are solely based on spelling, punctuation, grammar. That's why we've been working so hard all year on those things. Those should be gimme points. Those should be automatic points that you're counting on. You don't want to lose points there. Okay, because that's a choice. That's you going in and making a choice to fix it or not. Okay, so let's share. Skylar, give me one of the thesis statements that you, Angelina, wrote.
A bike sharing program would work.
Would work where?
In the community.
A bike sharing, let me write this down. A bike sharing program
would work in the community.
Would work in what?
In the community.
In what community? Our community. And guys, just like when you write your extended response questions on social studies tests and reading comprehension tests, you're looking for using those keywords that are in the directions. It helps you to stay aligned with what you're supposed to write. It also helps your reader to know that you have understood the directions and that you're responding. Okay. Let me get somebody to give me the other one. Carol, what is the other one? Okay, a bike sharing program would not work in our community. Okay, and make sure that you have both written in your text set. And again, just like with the previous text set, you can either choose one and just read for that. You might not even know what a bike sharing program is until you actually read the text set. And just like sometimes when you do an Achieve article, you might have an opinion before you read it. That changes after you get new information from the article. Okay, during work time, this is what we're going to do. You are going to read and annotate. Please start with the text set on technology use. You are going to read and annotate that text set. Remember what you're looking for. Choose one of those thesis statements. You either think it's a good thing or you think that it's not a good thing to use technology all the time. So choose one of those thesis statements and read through and annotate the text. apply all of those nonfiction reading skills that we learned all through the beginning of the year. From August to December, we learned about reading nonfiction text. So use those strategies. You're going to try to identify main ideas. Okay, think about volcanoes. You have a health risk, which is a main idea. Gas, releasing gas is a detail. Okay, so make sure you know the difference between the two. You are going to read, annotate, and plan your essay on technology. If you finish before time is up, then you are going to read and annotate and plan bike sharing. At the end of our work time together today, we're going to share some plans and talk about main ideas. Anybody have any questions before you head back to your seats? Okay, please gather up your materials, go back to your seats.